And I swear I need a brighter light up in here. Hope how's everybody doing today? Or yeah, it's still daylight. I am tired. I just got off of work and I got off work, then I went to the store, and now I'm just sitting here chilling. So don't know what's going on, people today. If you see me and you're new, my name is Anthony. Comment and subscribe. I always appreciate it. Don't really have nothing planned today, but I figure I said I would try to go live and do videos. I'm trying to go live at least 3 times a week and upload regular content videos at least 2 to 3 times a week. Uh, so this is just part of my goal here. Just to do about 10 minutes on live just to see what's going on. Again, just chilling. Yeah. So I do have a question for people though. And whenever somebody gets in here, I'll ask it again. But how do people feel about Kai Cenat? Because you know what they say, the internet is forever, right? So if you do something that's, I won't say it, do, but if you say something that's not agreeable, they're always going to find a way to bring it up. Excuse me. Whew. They always find a way to bring it up to discredit the good that you're doing. And what do I mean by that? Kai Cenat uh, recently did Streamers University, a big investment on his part that's paying off in dividends for him and his friends and the people that invited him, the people that he invited to his university. Great trailer, and I'm not really big into the whole entire streaming community. I think that most of that is through Twitch, but I will say that whenever I scroll through TikTok or even on YouTube, and I'm looking at shorts, you see a lot of interesting shorts when it comes to new streamers. So I always say new streamers, unknown streamers. Again, I'm not really part of dealing that kind of community. I never understood the entertainment of watching somebody 24/7. With that being said, though, you have creators like Agent. Agent was really great in that because he was a very informative, kind-hearted person. It seemed like, yeah, some people did push him, but he was overall this a really good thing to see, especially him and his interactions with Esther and Emily. And again, I'm just randomly talking right now. I'm just pretty much saying that whatever you say on the internet is going to come back to bite you when you're very successful. Whenever you're doing something major, like Kai Cenat, he has done something that multiple people are trying to imitate right now. And the downside about it is they're bringing up the comments that he made years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, when he said Black Americans have no culture. And because he said that, they're trying to use that to discredit what he accomplished through Streamers University. Now, I will give it to Kai. Um, I will give credit where credit is due. Whatever I agree with you or not, he has found a way to put a lot of people on, give them some attention, and brought some people out of poverty for the most part. I saw videos and clips of people that sat there and said that uh, they got over 100,000 subscribers. They got out of debt. A lot of good things came for that. Daniel, thank you, man. Much love to you too back. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Now, do I agree with what Kai said about Black Americans not having culture? Not at all. Especially when he got rich imitating Black American culture. But I cannot take away from what he has done and accomplished. Spending 3 to 5 million. I heard 5 million one place, 3 million another place. Either way, spending millions of dollars to invest into yourself, invest into yourself, and invest into a lot of other people is a great thing. And the sad part about it is that people are still outside of his comments about, or I don't want to say outside, before the comments they found of him saying about Black Americans not having culture, they try to make it seem like that he didn't invite anybody that was white, right? And that wasn't true. There were plenty of white people there too. It just so happened the Asian and the Black people stole the show for the most part, but there were plenty of white people there. And again, we always talk about how you get ahead is investing into yourself and investing into others. And seeing that and it's paying off and getting the notoriety that is, it deserves respect. You could say something stupid one day and then do something great the next day. It happens. We're all human. So that was just my viewpoint on that part of it. And again, I'm just here talking. I'm just trying to make sure I stick true to my goals. Um, Even though I may be tired, I'm definitely tired now since got off work not too long ago. I'm just trying to make sure that I sit here and try to stream um, or go live, excuse me, a few days a week. A few days a week and do some regular content and uploads. And that's just my goal. Um, I feel short of that quite a bit. Uh, I've definitely improved since last year, but I could do better. And I got to hold myself accountable because nobody else will. So I don't know if there's any Americans that's sitting here that's going to be watching. Because I don't think Father's Day is really an international holiday. It's just more kind of a American holiday, if I remember correctly. But if you are an American, are you celebrating Father's Day? And if you are celebrating Father's Day, what are you going to do for Father's Day? Are you a father yourself? If you're a father, how many kids do you have? If you're not a father, are you going to celebrate your father? I always feel like that fathers get a lot of overshadow. Um, Being a father is not rewarding that much. I'm a father myself. A lot of the time when you're a father, you're expected to put your happiness on the back burner for everybody else. And you rarely get a thank you. And even during our quote unquote holiday, it is taken over and they turn it into, well, this is for all the single mothers who got to be both mom and dads. I'm just like that's fine, but they got Mother's Day. Every other holiday is women centric in a way to where you gotta acknowledge the women. Valentine's Day, it's all about the women. Christmas, it's all about the women and kids. Thanksgiving, and that's more a family thing, but um, it's just one of those days that one of those things that I like to see fathers get a lot more appreciation for what they do in general. And this isn't though red pill, man on spear stuff. It's just in general. I think a lot of fathers deserve a lot more respect than what they get. I see people popping in and out, and that's cool. I don't know. Maybe I gotta start finding some like specialized lights and noise effects to get some stronger retention. But then again, normally when I go live a lot later in the night. But I feel very tired today, so I have a feeling I'm probably gonna pass out and go to bed here in like in the next hour or so, just for the fact that it's been a long week. And for some reason today, Friday the 13th, if you believe in Friday the 13th, it's been a lot of a series of unfortunate events that's been going on for the most part. And I don't know. It's just kind of exhausting. I never put too much stock or faith in Friday the 13th, if I'm being honest with you. In fact, on every single Friday the 13th, I go out and buy a lottery ticket. Because I figure, that much bad negative energy, I believe, got to go somewhere positive eventually. So why not me and a lottery ticket somewhere? Um, so one day, if you see a Florida man hits big on Friday the 13th, just know it's most likely me. And again, I just talk about random stuff today, whatever comes through. Um, I'm starting to notice that me going live at this time of day, it's not very active, at least not for me anyway. Now, I was having a conversation with another creator when it comes to trying to do social media. And we were talking about how, depending on how big you get, and it's something I never really thought about in general, that the larger you are, the more people know who you are compared to you know who they are. So in a sense, you kind of always gotta be on guard because you never know if you'll have some crazy person out there that doesn't like what you say and may try to take it personally and try to confront you one day. And, I thought about that and I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. That's one viewpoint of it. And that is true. I mean, whoever, the bigger you get, more people know you, you won't know them. And, I wouldn't have thought that it would be that serious until I saw that whole entire thing that happened in Las Vegas. I always felt like people in general would just take it for what it is, entertainment. You know, throughout the years, entertainers have said stuff that has provoked people, and people who do lives and streams on the next form of entertainment and news resources and things of that nature. So when I think back in the day when I was growing up, who got the most reactions? It wasn't necessarily the news anchors; it was the professional wrestlers, right? You'll see a whole entire arena of people that was booing or cheering or crying. They found a way to pull those emotions out of people. And speaking of professional wrestlers, to say kind of segue to that, who is you guys' professional favorite professional wrestler back in the day or even today, right? I can say I don't watch professional wrestling anymore. I feel like I grew out of it when the Attitude Era went away. I didn't like the whole entire PG era they had in wrestling. Uh, the Attitude Era was the best thing ever when it came to wrestling. When it came to like watching Stone Cold Steve Austin, when it came to watching Macho Man Randy Savage, um, Harlem Heat, Eddie Guerrero, all those greats like that. Yeah, I didn't really care too much for Hogan. There was just something about him that has rubbed me the wrong way. And people were cheering for Hogan. I was cheering for the Ultimate Warrior or Macho Man. Um, just curious, who was other people's favorite wrestlers back in the day? Mine was Stone Cold. I don't know what it was. Even though he was like a country Texan, he just felt very relatable to everybody. Maybe it was the fact that he was, going against the machine of Vince McMahon. And speaking of Vince McMahon, he's a piece of work. You still haven't heard anything about him and the allegations that was brought up against him. And speaking of allegations, when you get into people who are super rich, and when I say super rich, people who make above $100 million or who's worth above $100 million, they always seem to want to do these humiliation, freaky stuff to the average person. You're hearing about the stuff with the D child. You see about the stuff with the Epstein. You see about the stuff with the Harvey Weinstein. You see about the stuff um, with Kanye and everything else. And Vince McMahon. It says once you become really rich and powerful, you can't do anything but to find ways to use that power to make you happy, and normally by making other people miserable. All right. Well, I said I was gonna do 10 minutes, I did a little bit more, so I'm about to get off here. Like I said, I'm tired. I just got off work, went shopping, and I'm gonna lay down now. So, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, like and comment. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.